Diriwo rairo vanogara mudiriwo, diriwo rarembanje nogara mudiriwo, diriwo ravakomana. Diriwo rarembanje vanogara mudiriwo, vakomana vanogara mudiriwo, diriwo rarembanje vanogara mudiriwo, musatambe navo vanogara mudiriwo, diriwo rarembanje vanogara mudiriwo, diriwo ravakomana. Sorry guys, yangu yakata ndachitarisa kuti pane something chachiitika yabva yakata. Sorry guys. Where are your people?
In your room. They're looking for something. When you're done, I'll ask you when you're done.
Ask me when you're done.
I want to ask you something when you finish your presentation.
Come and ask in my ear.
I'll ask you after. It's better.
Is everybody gone?
JB and Lennon, they went to town. Sibo dropped them off. So Sibo, Flora, Mom, they're upstairs.
Alright.
Yeah.
Regatun. Guys. Yakata. Yandidimbura. Ona diri ora iro. Vano, my mfaro. Sweetie. Vano garam diri ora rembanje. Vano garam diri ora iro. Vano garam diri ora rembanje. Vano garam diri vakomana. Vano garam diri ora rembanje. No garam diriwo musatambe navo. Vano garam diriwo rarembanje. Vano garam diriwo ravakoma. Sekuroni makadi mndarama ndirasa mazuva. Kana mboto mzaya uri sei? Atete koni questions mangwiro makadi atete. Tangatafamba guys. Saka I'm not sure what I'm gonna do now. Some people are just joining us. Ndribo sweetheart, really say. Some people are just joining us. I'm not sure. I can't see someone, Rudo Madondo. I can't see that person here. Anyway, no problem. Okay, let's continue. Can I continue or summarize what we just discussed? No, it does say. Mkoma maona say speech. Mkoma na 4 minutes yet. And Sunday bata chano itaris. What can I start? What can I do now? Can I just summarize what we discussed in that cut video, or can we just continue? We continue, right? Thank you, my Nuno. I thought maybe I can summarize so that people catch up or understand where we are coming from and going to. Right? I was talking. First of all, let me just give a brief summary. When I started making this presentation, I spoke about Malawi, where General Vincent Nundwa was sacked by Peter Wamtarika. After General Nundwa defended the constitution of Malawi to say, no, Wamtarika should not mutilate the constitution and the police should not be heavy-handed on demonstrators. He gave demonstrators to say, look, guys, you are going to demonstrate freely. This is your constitutional right. But we don't want violence. We don't want anyone to be seen holding a matchstick or a matchbox, to anyone holding bricks or anything, machete and everything. We will arrest you. So demonstrators were allowed to demonstrate in Malawi. They were demonstrating against the rigging of elections, which were clearly seen. TPEX results that confirmed the victory of Mutharika. After Mutharika did not win that election. So Mutharika was not happy with the commander of Malawi Defense Forces and dismissed. He sacked him and appointed his own people. Since he was the commander-in-chief, we had powers, constitutional powers to appoint and dismiss the army generals. What happened now? After the Constitutional Court after the Constitutional Court nullified the elections in Malawi, a rerun was ordered, which ushered a new government, a new president in Lazarus Chakwera. Chakwera looked into the sacking of General Vincent Inundwe and said, look, that was not proper, and reinstated him. So when he was reinstated, you know, the gentleman is a professional soldier. People in Malawi demonstrated recently. He ordered the police not to interfere with demonstrators. He ordered demonstrators to be peaceful against Lazarus Chakwera, who reappointed him. So I was talking about the Navy of Malawi, the Navy of Africa, which is Malawi. No guvure nyika ye Malawi, yes, Africa. The Navy of Africa, which is Malawi. Mkoma really say greetings to you. So I was talking about that as a warning to other generals in Zimbabwe, especially Valerio Swanda, that if you want to gain respect from Zimbabweans, please be a professional soldier. Ensure that your soldiers respond to any protest in our country in a professional manner, the way Africa's best general or commander of the Malawi Defense Forces, General Vincent Inundwe. I've clearly stated, even if I meet him today, I'll give him a full salute, because I've got respect of a professional commander of Malawi Defense Forces, probably the best in SADC. So that was the first presentation that I made in reference to what I've witnessed on the 1st of August in 2018 and on the 4th of January 2019, where Zimbabwe soldiers took up arms of war, deployed into the streets, gunned down innocent civilians and killed the civilians. That was the first thing that we looked into in reference to Malawi issue of professionalism, especially in the defense forces. Then I went back to look into the looting of state coffers by Angola government, where Eduardo dos Santos made her daughter, who was the first person. Eduardo had about, I don't know how many children, but his first daughter, Isabel, became like Sakunda in Zimbabwe, who could gain every government tender, inflate the figures, and he invested a lot of money with this dubious origin of his wealth. She worthed 3.5 billion in 2017 when her father died. But when ZANU-PF part, or the MPLA, when it ushered a new president, 𝗃𝗂𝗴, when 𝗃𝗂𝗴 came in, he ordered investigation of Isabel, and he froze all her assets in Angola. Her assets were frozen in other countries, even in Portugal, where she had amassed a lot of wealth. She had even invested in banking sectors, in cement making sectors, in diamonds and telecom. And you all know that even in crude oil and gas, Angola is a rich country in oil, is a rich country in gas as well. So this woman is like you. I said she was like an octopus, spreading all her hands, grabbing anything that Angola produced. So if you look at that, Isabel dos Santos' empire, it crumbled soon after the death of her father. Her father, Eduardo dos Santos, died in 2017, and everything started crumbling. Her empire crumbled because all those investigations, they made sure that her bank accounts in and outside Africa or Angola were frozen, because the stakes of her companies were emanated from sham or fraudulent activities, which has seen that some certain countries have even requested other countries to issue an international warrant of arrest so that she can be arrested. And now the government of Angola, in line with international or criminal acts, they have humbled her and they've reduced her or cut her to her size. This is why even in Portugal, her investments have even been frozen. She was involved in the banking sectors, a cable company, a TV company, and engineering firms in Angola, where where the origin of her wealth and money raised an ire. So all those have been frozen. This is what I was saying, that it is a warning to Sakunda. It is a warning to Emmerson Mnangagwa and his children and all their associates that this world is very small. Even if you steal the money, bank it elsewhere, Zimbabweans will be able to recover that money in the form of, in a way that the Nigerians did when they recovered monies that were stashed in foreign bank accounts by Sani Abacha. I was talking of Sani Abacha who ruled Nigeria for 5 years from 1993 to 1998. In those 5 years, he stole about 4.3 billion from Nigerians. Kunzwa Bata Isabel. Isabel wants Bata. So I'm looking at what happened in Nigeria. Because in Nigeria, when a new president came in as well, just like in Angola, a new president came in from MPLA. In Nigeria, a new president came from the ruling party. And it ordered investigation and the recovery of the money stolen by Sani Abacha. In Angola, the ruling president came from the president came from the ruling party and ordered the closure or freezing of Isabel dos Santos' accounts. So a similar situation might arise from Zimbabwe, where a new president can rise from ZANU-PF. We are not saying that the opposition can usher a president only. Even ZANU-PF can usher a president like 𝗃𝗂𝗵𝗃 in Angola and the other president in Nigeria, who can dismantle the empire of Emmerson Mnangagwa, his children, and their associates. Zimbabwe, if Zimbabwe recovers all the monies that have been put in offshore accounts by Mnangagwa and company, those monies can come and develop that country. Within a year, Tingetane Dubai in our country. And on. So, Pazukata presentation here, I was talking about Sani Abacha with his stolen funds, which were recovered, and they were paid into Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority. That authority they created a bank account where all the monies that were stolen by Sani Abacha were recovered. Unfortunately, out of the 4.3 or so billion that were stolen by Sani Abacha, the current government which was there again stole part of it. Yes, I know 1 point something billion yakazo recover, but yakaiswa into Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority. Azvina kuitika zvega. The monies Zirubigwarana Mnangagwa and his associates, those monies can still be recovered, ladies and gentlemen. Msanyanyochka and I wanna watch you. I say 𝗃𝗂𝗵𝗶, brother Ida. No. It's a very cheap watch, my brother. No. I say mafia. And in the morning, so the stolen funds, Zagabiwa na Sani Abacha, they were recovered, paid into this special recovery fund. And the monies that were retained, they will be used to invest or develop my poorest sectors of Nigeria, which will happen in Zimbabwe. All those poorest sectors will be developed. Recover my 17 point something billion or my 400 something billion arubiwa nana 𝗃𝗂𝗵𝗃, nana Mnangagwa's gold mafia, zvese ma 15 billion akabiwa diamonds tika invest aya tinovaka rimwe dam rine hydroelectricity dam rinopfuura Kariba rere. Tovaka a very big dam in Zimbabwe. To producer edu magetsi asine ne Zambia asine nechi. To visa chinonzi load shedding munyika medu. We don't need load shedding when we are such a rich country with such which can with the capacity of producing such large sums of money. So you will find that out of the 50 billion US dollars that Africa loses annually, 17 billion comes from Zimbabwe. Mari kushaika mu Africa irubva Zimbabwe. And these monies are fraudulently taken by Mnangagwa and associates, put into foreign offshore accounts. What they are just doing is preventing, they are avoiding paying tax in our country. Gold is being smuggled pa airport pedu richitakurwa nema jets, ma private jets, richibuda undocumented. Mari dziri kuya makanzwa 𝗃𝗂𝗵𝗃 achitaura kuti aringotora bag oisa a diplomatic tape. That money inosvika kumba kwake iri 1.2 billion akuna anoivhura kana kuisecha. Andai mweya wokuba muAfrica wapera, Mr. Yuda. Tinopedza tikangobatana, what we just need to do first is to remove ZANU-PF. If we remove ZANU-PF in our country, then we follow the monies that they've got in their offshore accounts. That money belongs to Zimbabwe. Because ukada kuona kuti sendi kuti ati ndiye Zimbabwe Mario, ndiye kuti pakaunzi paroda kuvakwa road tenda inopuwa Sakunda at inflated rates. Pakanzi pari kuvakwa something chiri kuvakwa muZimbabwe, ingave road, angave ingave stadium chaiyo, mari dziri kunzi Sakunda uya uite. Kana Sakunda apuwa oinflata mari. So those monies are fraudulently being made, and they are being paid in offshore accounts. And isusu, we've got a means and a way of following those funds outside the country. Wese still wakabenga mari yokuchina tunoiwana nhasi. ZANU-PF kubva nhasi mari yese iri muchina yedu yese tunoipuwa neChina. Because China, ukaita corruption kuChina, you are unosentenswa to death. Andi mazanya ndutaura. Mari iri kuRussia, we are going to recover it. Vanotora mari vachisauna na Belarus mabank, kuna Russia mabank. That is our money. Zvikutozikanwa zvazvi, and we will recover it. Iri kuRussia neChina, it's not a problem. That can be recovered today. Because kuChina ukaita corruption is a death sentence. Unoenda kufiring squad, avamise. Saka if we have got monies that were acquired from Zimbabwe illicitly or illegally, we can still recover that money back into our country. Africa, from 1970, according to research and data, from 1970 to 2008, Africa lost about 870 billion. These monies were used to build Europe. These monies were used to build China. These monies were used to build Russia. These monies are being used to build Dubai. Ukaona kunaka ukaita Dubai today, it is from the 850 billion stolen from Africa. Ukaona matombo ari kutorwa kubva ku nasi ndikuona madhamu vari pano. Flows, how are you, sweetheart? Ukaona matombo ari kutorwa kubva kwaMutoko ari kunovaka kuChina. We need to build Zimbabwe like that. But we can't because of corruption. So what we need is, what I'm saying here is, the world is a very small country. It's a ball, a very small ball. And this very small country, we are going to recover everything that is being put or stashed in offshore accounts. Whether mazita avo, kana ari companies avo, and their associates, we are going to recover that money. And that money will be repatriated back into our poorest sectors, develop our country. We will build industries. We will build roads. We will build education system. We will build zvese vamurikuona zvikuchemwa zvipatara, health system yedu ichanaka, because the money is there. Mari dzavari kubenga vachiti vachazoda kudya kana vachinge vazokura, hakuna dzavari kudya dziadzi. We will recover that money. It's either that will happen under a new ZANU-PF leader, or that will happen under a new opposition leader. As we stand in Zimbabwe, we have got a great chance of ushering President Nelson Chamisa as our new president this year. And I assure you, with Chamisa kana vakapinda, whether he likes it or not, the people of Zimbabwe are demanding their monies, which is stashed outside outside Zimbabwe into offshore accounts. My investigation is obvious. Achaitwa. And it really say, I'm very well, some shall miss your lives a lot. I know, baby. I'm so close with the Mzimaya disappear. Anyway, ndogona zvipawo futi moshota andinotsvaga adzimai kuti muri kupi, muri sei, sorry, pamwe mukadzi airwara, you never know. So what I'm saying is, even if President Nelson Chamisa comes to power, even if a leader mZANU-PF anosimwa wafana nemfana ana Msengi vaive ma leaders ekuti kana Msengi akata take over governance yeZANU-PF akata president of ZANU-PF, mbana waye anosunga vanhu vese corruption vanovharirwa nemfana wayo. Andimona kwete tsena ngamu yayo tsena ngama ana pfungwa dzekutonga. Ndikutaura mfana anonzi Msengi uyo. He's the only ZANU-PF youth wandakaona focused who loves Zimbabwe. And Imon. Saka, what I'm saying is Sani Abacha, after Sani Abacha died, the new Nigerian president who came to power ordered investigation of his shenanigans. He ordered all the money is about 4.3 billion he stole in 5 years must be repatriated back into Nigeria. And that man was put in Nigeria Sovereign Investment Authority. Guess for America chet Sani Abacha's account had $23 million US for America chet. Sani Abacha account in his name had $23 million US in his name for America. And the United States agreed. Because what Americans did, they looked into the offshore accounts. The Nigerians are associated na Sani Abacha varim government market vaiba now. And they've discovered that in America alone, these associates, Abacha's family and their associates, or Abacha's family and his associates, they had about $334.7 million US in America alone. And that man, Americans agreed that they will take that money back into the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority account. And that man has been taken back. He is now under sanctions. He has got offshore accounts in America. He has got bank accounts here in UK. He has got bank accounts in other European countries which have been frozen because he is on targeted sanctions. He has lost control of those bank accounts. And he is not likely to gain control of them anytime soon because those targeted sanctions are not going to be removed anytime soon. Probably until after this government goes. And all those monies Zana Sakunda zavari kuchema now dzichadzoka Zimbabwe kuzo develop our country. This is why uri kuona vari kuchema kuti hey masanctions auraya ivo matargeted sanctions. Ndakaudza mumwe munhu ndikati iwewe ungori musiyayiwo kuZimbabwe uchichema uchitaura hey masanctions atiuraya. Kune anonzi ma-care sponsored visas ari kupuwa vanhu vari kubva kuZimbabwe. Ma-CIO ndakaona some of these CIOs vari kuuya kuzoita care work munomu kubva kuZimbabwe kusiya basa reCIO kuuya kuzoita care work in this country. Ari kuuya neCOS visa. But ndo vanhu vaichema kuti masanctions atiuraya hatisi kubvumirwa kuenda kuEngland. So you ask them, why are you in the UK? Pane pawakambobvunzwa negovernment kana pawakarambidzwa kupinda muno munyika neUK government? Hapana. So those sanctions are not meant for you. Hauna account yakafrizwa muno. Hauna account yakafrizwa kuAmerica. Vana Sakunda ndo vane ma-accounts akafrizwa muno nekuAmerica. Nezvimacompanies zvavo izvozvo. Saka mari dzese dziriko dziri kuzikanwa kunzi mari ndo mari dzachatora dzodzokera kunodevelopa Zimbabwe. And I assure you, they are not going to gain control of those accounts anytime soon. No, Tani. Sani Abacha was not a novice. No. He was not a novice. That gentleman has been a general for years. He fought even in the civil war of Nigeria. They were a sophisticated gang, better than the Mnangagwa gang. Believe me. But those monies were recovered. Let's not talk about Sani Abacha alone. Let's talk about Eduardo dos Santos' daughter, Isabel. He had a sophisticated way of doing her things. But all those monies were frozen. Not all in his name. I am telling you, from the research that I've done, they were not all in his name. There were other companies which were in his associates' name. A good example, we have got Sakunda there, who is associate of Emmerson Mnangagwa. They have got bank accounts in UK, bank accounts in America, bank accounts in Swiss bank, in the name of Sakunda. If things goes wrong, obviously those monies are frozen now, and they will be recovered from Sakunda's accounts, from Sakunda's children. This is why you see even Chinamasa cried when his daughter was put on sanctions, targeted sanctions. They've got offshore accounts. And in those accounts, they've got money. they've got money in those offshore accounts. So these people, they think they are clever. They are not clever. Because what happens is a financial system iripo today. It makes everything come open. Do you know that in Channel Islands, Sani Abacha had some companies not registered in his name, but in his associates and families? 𝗵𝗂𝗵𝗁, they had about 267 million in Channel Islands. This man was discovered in 2019. In 2017, Swiss bank, they had monies, his associates had monies not in his name. Had about 321 million pounds in different accounts in Swiss bank. They were not, that man was not in one account, but in his associates' names. In 2017, those accounts were discovered, and that monies were, the monies were recovered. In different European banks here, Sani Abacha and his associates, they had about 2.2 billion US dollars. This is the man that they stole. Sani Abacha and his associates. And the monies were discovered. They were taken. But considering that Sani Abacha just ruled Nigeria for 5 years, we are talking about Mnangagwa, who has been 43 years in power. How much is he amazed that is in foreign currency? And those monies are now frozen. Because the monies are frozen. They are crying now, telling Zimbabweans, hey, come and help us cry. Help us remove these sanctions. But unfortunately, those targeted sanctions cannot go anytime soon. And those people who froze those accounts, they exactly know how much they have frozen. And that money is sufficient to develop Zimbabwe for about decades to come. Zimbabwe will be like Dubai with those monies. And more. So Emmerson Mnangagwa, if you look at how much he worth is alone, he has surpassed even the Mobutu Sese Seko's. He has surpassed the Sani Abacha. Emmerson Mnangagwa alone worth is about 17-something billion dollars. We are not talking about his associates. Wana Sakunda. How much does Sakunda worth? And that's why yeah, their monies are now locked up in their accounts. Even wana zwana Macmillan wanani zimari dziya dzakubhadza, they can't access that money. The Abacha family and their associate formed a criminal organization. Yes, they formed a criminal organization, just like the gold mafia in Zimbabwe. It's a criminal organization that is dealing in chrome, the chrome that belongs to the state, dealing in gold, the gold that belongs to the state, dealing in diamonds, the diamond that belongs to the state. You see, Zimbabwe, Emmerson Mnangagwa, that Sakunda company is a criminal organization that needs proper investigation. And on. Resort probably to violence. They want to probably use violence against the people of Zimbabwe. So if you look at Sani Abacha with his criminal organization that he formed, no, exactly. Thanks 𝗃𝘂𝗵𝗁𝗃𝗂𝗿. Could pese pafamba mari munyika. You know, see this digital print. You bet angel. Ane ma accounts, ma offshore accounts azere mari. Ukamubvunza kuti mari yake yakabva kupi? Haana kambani haana chii. Imari yedu iri kubiwa kuZimbabwe. So Sani Abacha from 1993 to 1998, he stole about 4.2 billion, 4.5 billion. Monies that billions which were stolen from Nigeria. Fortunately, Sani Abacha died before spending his loot, and that loot was recovered. Most of it recovered from Swiss banks accounts. And those Swiss bank accounts were being held or operated by Sana Abacha and his associates, banking the monies that they've stolen from Nigeria. As I saw a breakdown here, budget here, Galia Yao is sick money about my thugs who got these tenders. 𝗃𝗂𝗵𝗁𝗃 are still to get the share in the name of regalia tenders. Exactly. And on. This is why I'm saying that if Zimbabweans are serious about recovering their monies, those monies can be recovered. 2023 is your chance to remove ZANU-PF and pursue your monies that has been banked in foreign currency, in foreign banks. You can recover it. Manzwa mkoma chichi wachinyora kuti panapa kuti panofamba mari pese panosiya digital print. Your monies can be recovered. And the widow of Sana Abacha, Nigeria's military ruler from 1993 to 1998, after the death of her husband, Marian was caught while attempting to leave Nigeria with 38 cases filled with cash, US dollars. And it Murugona. So, the Abacha family, the Abacha associates, and the small subsidiaries that are attached to him, they store huge amounts of money. Nanchiverenga imwe report yananchiverenga. Andafane kuseka. One of the generals who was associate, angoita sa General Chiwenga or Valerio Swanda. You know how they used to steal the money? Vaingoenda kuna President Sana Abacha. Votaurira Sana Abacha kuti vocreator. That situation ndakaiona during Robert Mugabe's regime. Paive mudhara ainzi Bonongwe aihedha CIO yavo. Vaingoenda vonorequesta kuna Mugabe kuti president vaingocreata the vague security issue. Pane security issue yakati. Vonyorwa tsamba inosainwa naBob. Voenda kureserve bank vono withdraw mari. Large sums of money. Vokwira ndege vonostacha kune dzimwe nyika. Ainzi Bonyongwe. Yes, I saw that situation to Bonyongwe. They used to steal the money in a Sana Abacha style, where the generals, those head of intelligence security, they will just create a vague security issue. They will go to the president and say, Kuna Mugabe, sign up and up. It is still happening. It's still happening. Last week, I heard 𝗃𝗵𝗵𝗶 telling me that his life is in danger. Those are like vague security issues that are being created by the CIOs. Where they just go to Mnangagwa, sign up, the operation is 𝗃𝗵𝗵𝗶. Then they take that money, stash them in the Swiss bank. Ndakatobotipwa nemwe mpana yeye ndiwe ZANU ye akabotipwa kati akaudza mukwasha wangu zvikanzi taurira tezvara vako mune vanhu who were tasked to kill him vakauya vari muno muUK maCIO. Ndikati information yakasara youya ndandatozvipedza nazvo kudhara ndandatozviziva kudhara kuti kune maCIO who were tasked to kill 𝗃𝗵𝗵𝗶 in this country. They are not going to kill me physically. They will come in form of Vaskana, they will come in form of friends and relatives, they will try to poison me. But already ndandatozviudzwa kudhara. Ndosaka muri kuona flows makombe pandakaenda kuLondon kunoona chinyanga madhamu vakati baba mwana amudye chimwe chinhu regai ndikutumirei mari munodya chikafu chamunenge maona chamuri kunotenga mega apo. When chinyanga was in court, flows send me money to go and buy food. Vakanditi don't eat food iri patable, don't eat anything. And then muri kuona. Saka those are security issues. But the CIOs, army generals, they create vague security concerns. Ekuti vanongopuwa tsamba na president, voenda kureserve bank, draw mari, large sums of US dollars, vokwira ndege, stashing those monies in offshore accounts. Sana Abacha operated in a similar way like what Mnangagwa is doing, awarding state contracts to Sakunda Mnangagwa is awarding state contracts to his friends in a similar way that Sana Abacha was doing. And they do it, inflate my prices. Makanzwa 𝗃𝗂𝗁𝗵𝗃 achinyora about roundabout irugadzirwa kuMbudzi. That roundabout, its worth is only 60 million. But ZANU-PF, when Sakunda wakapuwa tender yacho, they said its worth is 360 million US dollars. When waka developer roundabout here is just 60 million or less. But it is being done now at a price of 360 million. And Mkoma 𝗃𝗂𝗁𝗵𝗃 brought it out. Exposed it. Exposed that corruption. So what will they do? Mnangagwa and Sakunda and their associates, they pocket the difference. That means 300 million imari yavo. And they will take that money, pay, because one of our money is my offshore accounts. No marriage are kuba, no kubako var kuita kwacho. That they award Sakunda state contracts. Sakunda oja inflate my prices. Either inflate my prices acho iwayo difference yacho ndo mari yavanopoketa munyika muhomwe dzavo. You understand? In form of Emerson Mnangagwa, makanzwa 𝗃𝗵𝗴𝗏 achitaura kuti Mnangagwa anopuwa futi inonzi appreciation fee. Guys, you guys must understand this. You must understand this. That 2023 is your chance of stopping Sakunda. It's your chance of stopping this unfair award of state contracts at an inflated price. Ndosaka muchinzi muri kubirwa emoramba. Ndakazona kuponela no benefit. This is exactly what they benefit. Get state contracts uyaimutisire solar panel panapa at inflated prices. Over vaita mari vakomana. Atete Mevi connected. Thank you so much. And Dimona. So what happened is, what will happen now? If we look at Sana Abacha's situation, and ukaenda ku Switzerland, kune magweta ariko. I still remember panaishaka research kangu, one of the generals uku Nigeria went to Switzerland, phoned that solicitor to say tine mari dzakabiwa ku Nigeria nana Sana Abacha dhirima offshore accounts. Here they had some information about how much roughly was deposited into those accounts. At the max, zviri say ndakasimba zviri kufamba. And so these people they like approached the Attorney General in that country, approached the courts, got some orders to investigate those accounts and have those accounts frozen. This is how they managed to get Sana Abacha's money back to Nigeria for development. Sana Abacha, the president of Nigeria, who came in power in 1993 and died in 1998 after 5 years in power. Sana Abacha, a general who fought in that country's civil war, is a general, a key player in 2 coups that even ushered him to become Minister of Defense and eventually became President of Nigeria in November 1993. And one, Sana Abacha's government, if you remember very well, is the government that hanged 𝗃𝗂𝗏𝗏. Is the government that hanged human rights activists in a similar way to Mnangagwa's government, which is incarcerating human rights and opposition activists. He is doing and history repeats itself. Zvirikuitwa Mnangagwa is exactly zvaitwa na Sana Abacha. And Sana Abacha went to the extent of hanging human rights activists in 1995. But chakazonakidza nje kuti Sana Abacha died unexpectedly in 1998. He died at the age of 54. He died unexpectedly. Some people were saying I got a heart attack. Some people got a poison. But there was no post-mortem done at all. So there was just a speculation how Sana Abacha died. It was just a speculation. But I think he was poisoned. I did more. Poisoning, I'm not prophesizing here. I'm still profit. But I foresee the death ya Emmerson Mnangagwa through poisoning. ZANU-PF. I want you to write this down. Panofa mozontaura kuti Yuda akazvitaura izvi. Ana 𝗃𝗂𝗵𝗁 investigation Dubai real estate links point fresh footprints to hidden Abacha loot. Thank you so much. Ndatinini Emmerson Mnangagwa, the way he is going to meet his death, he's going to be poisoned. Not by opposition, but by ZANU-PF people. The people in ZANU-PF who are not happy about everything, from the Secunda deals, everything. He is the only person making money in ZANU-PF. This is why you see even the gold mafia said he's happy to cut a ribbon. Everything goes his way. So I'm prophesizing. I'm not prophesizing anyway, but I am telling you that he is going to die soon, and he is going to be poisoned from inside ZANU-PF. He's gonna die in a similar way Abacha died. I did more. After his death, after Mnangagwa's death, believe me, that munyore pass zvandikutaura. Even if kukauya leader from ZANU-PF to take over after Mnangagwa dies, there is going to be an international treasure hunt on the accounts of him, on the accounts of Robert Mugabe, on the accounts of Grace Mugabe, on the accounts of even Vanavake Mnangagwa, everyone associated with the Mnangagwa and the Mugabe regime. People are going to make sure that there will be an international treasure hunt. All the monies that are found in there will be locked in or blocked in. And that arrangements will be made to return that money back to Zimbabwe so that Zimbabwe will be developed. Vana Grace vakaba mari, vane mazimari vakadzwa. Dziruma accounts, my offshore accounts. Those monies will be recovered. Believe me, after ED goes, there will be an international treasure hunt which will discover all these monies, and they will be brought back to Zimbabwe for development. The monies will be returned to the people of Zimbabwe, the rightful owners of the monies. And the monies will be channeled towards projects which will massively benefit you and me. Projects which will massively benefit the Zimbabwe people who were impoverished for 43 years, 4 decades. Now we are going for the 5th decade under ZANU-PF. So let's be braced up for that. Kana unga usina kuzvitarisira dati muchengete video inoyi ndati nini Mnangagwa is going to die. The way Mnangagwa will die is either they will say he died of heart attack or he was poisoned. And from his death, his empire will crumble. The Secunda empire will crumble. Ndoda kuti mbate zvandikutaura panapa. The Secunda empire will crumble. There will be an international treasure hunt where all their monies will be blocked. Vachasara vasina chavanacho. And those monies will be returned to Zimbabwe. So the president Chiwenga is not going to be president of Zimbabwe. Never. I want you to if President Chamisa does not become president of this country this year, don't expect Chiwenga to be president of the country. Never. Don't expect Mnangagwa to finish his term. Kana achinga ariga election. Never. Because people in ZANU-PF are not happy. Not happy at all. But Valerio Swanda, their accounts will be frozen. Ana chanobuda nacho wewe. Dai vari vamwe vanhu vatotanga kutobuda munyika. Vatsvaga kana something chekunoita ogara elsewhere. Zvakaitwa nana anzani okuuraya vanhu musi wa 1 August 2008. Pardon. Because where there is corruption, ladies and gentlemen, especially if it is international corruption like what you discovered, zvakaitwa negold mafia, that is what we call an international corruption. And worse, that international corruption was done by British citizens. When you bet Angel, those are British citizens. They raise an ire to the British government. And the British government, mostly they will carry out their own investigation. This is why you see the parliament took it upon itself to say, look, Hubert Angel must be investigated because he is a British citizen. Exactly. In 1993, in April, 𝗃𝘂𝗵𝗁, an influential governor, was jailed in the UK for looting 250 million over 8 years. Exactly. Because that was an international corruption that empowered the British government to carry out an investigation. And worse still, when Hubert Angel out, he was jailed for 13 years. With this guy, 𝗃𝘂𝗵𝗁, was jailed for 13 years for money laundering. That documentary, Al-Jazeera, musaitarisira pasi. Musatomboitarisira pasi zvachose. Zimbabweans might not act, but the international community is acting, particularly the United Kingdom government. Believe me, Hubert Angel's properties in this country will be forfeited. Hubert Angel will be jailed in this country for money laundering. Because he's a British citizen. Hubert Angel will go to prison in this country for money laundering. In a similar way, 𝗃𝘂𝗵𝗁 went to prison in this country. 13 years he was sentenced. So his monies, those monies will be forfeited, will be taken back to Zimbabwe to develop or support vital infrastructure and improve Zimbabwe. In a similar way, Marizana 𝗃𝘂𝗵𝗁 250 million akatorwa back to Nigeria, and they were channeled into vital infrastructure. Kugadzira road, kugadzira chii. And Zimbabwe is stuck in UK. Varuchka kudzoka. He's not in UK. And are Greece. He's not here. They say they are Greece. But if he comes here, the first thing is they will arrest him. But investigations are at an advanced stage in the UK for money laundering. It's an international crime. Because what happens in 𝗃𝘂𝗁𝗁, when the monies are stolen from public funds, those monies are meant to develop things that will benefit the poor community. And that poor community will be the hardest hit when the monies are stolen from the government. Because those monies, when they are stolen from the government, they are not going to be used where the monies are needed. This is why you see, as Ngoma the lectures, as even definitely their monies will be forfeited. Those monies were stolen from public funds, which were meant to benefit the poor of that country. So the monies is not being used where it is needed. It's being taken into foreign offshore accounts. Vana Hubert Angel vachitora mari, vana Mnangagwa vachitora mari vachiendesa nana Belarus kunanano vachinobenga mari idzodzo outside the country, benefiting other foreign countries, building other foreign countries, whilst Zimbabweans remain poor. So what I'm telling you is, after Mnangagwa goes, there will be an international treasure hunt, and those monies will be taken back and channeled into vital infrastructure that will benefit and improve the people, the lives of Zimbabweans. Those monies will be meant, they will be spent on poorest projects, and people who benefit. Imari yavari kuti chengeta mari ya musafe makafunga kuti vana vamunangagwa kana vana munangagwa kana vanani or 𝗃𝗵𝗴𝗶 sources vachashandisa mari dzekubadzira. They will never use it. Once it's frozen, it's frozen. The next thing, those monies will find their way back into Zimbabwe, and they will be channeled to develop the infrastructure of the country. Andimaona pashtaurwa namukoma 𝗃𝗂𝗲𝗵𝗁. James Ibori, that guy, he pleaded guilty in a United Kingdom court for money laundering, conspiracy to defraud, and forgery, and he was sentenced to 13 years in prison. Here in the United Kingdom, Maria yakabiwa ku Nigeria. That is an international crime. Corruption is an international crime, where eventually Mnangagwa will be taken for cleaners. And those monies that they are banking, vanasakunda vataurire ndosaka muna vakuchema kuti matargeted sanctions atukuvadza. Yeah, because they've banked those monies into offshore accounts. And I am safely saying, Zimbabweans musachema, those monies will be retrieved through very good operations, which will be led by those countries where the monies are banked. Especially if you come to the UK, we've got an effective law enforcement agents, which we can utilize to make sure that we recover all those monies. They will work to identify 𝗃𝗵𝗴𝗶's assets. They work to identify Mnangagwa's assets, his associates' assets, which are in the United Kingdom, which were obtained by the illicit funds. Anobvunzwa 𝗃𝗵𝗴𝗶 kuti wakamboshanda kupi muno mu UK munomu, you are a citizen of this country. Kwa wakamboshanda une kambani here yekuti can generate you millions hauna. Wakamboshanda kupi kwekuti generated millions hauna. Une business ripi raunoita. Only kwa account mako mune 400 million. Where did you get that money from? It's money stolen from Zimbabwe. Money stolen with illicit deals. And that money belongs to the poor people of Zimbabwe. So his assets will be frozen in this country. The monies will be forfeited. He will be jailed on top of that. And the monies will be taken back to develop Zimbabwe. It will benefit the people of Zimbabwe. Saka, warn them. Kuti apana zvavari kufunga kuti vari kuita kuti vakangwara vana Mnangagwa. Havana kungwara vanhu veZANU-PF. Havana kungwara. This is why you see in my previous presentation I spoke a lot about Angola. It's a very good example, Angola. Tumasutu tuwe writing pad tuchapera topera tuyangoma chichitaurai. This is why I gave a very good example of Angola. If you look at Angola, pakangoya new president, everything changed. Do you know that Angola is a country with less population than Zimbabwe? Zimbabwe is about 15 million. Angola is about 12 or less million people. It's a very large country, probably twice the size of France. And the ukarasa temperature ya Angola ainanyanyosiyana neyedu, but avari mu tropical zone. That means kunogara kuchinaya kunopisa stereka. Not different from ours. Economy yavo katasa economy ya Angola is much centered on diamonds, much centered on oil. And if you look at development in Africa, Angola is probably now is the fastest growing African country today. Under MPLA, with a sound president, it has become the fastest growing country. Angola had the highest poverty rate because of civil war. When civil war ended, now it is probably the fastest growing African country. Because the president of Angola, atambe jawo Paulo, atambe corruption hadi. And on. Even vice president oyandoziziva kuti panapa ukangodai wabaya. As big as Angola, if you go to their parliament, they've got 220 seats. MPs are electoral pipe, they're about 220. And what is their system governance yao or law yao, everything's based on Portuguese. No major language inotaurwa muAngola. Portuguese they introduced Portuguese as the national language. Although culturally but their official language there is the current population of Angola is 35. Yeah, kwira manje. Because vanga wapera nehondo vanhu vaiva mukoma chichi vakanga wapera nehondo. Because Zimbabwe goes in Angola about 3 or so times. Saka now 35,000 people is still underpopulated because it's one of the biggest countries in Africa, SADC. DRC, then Angola, because that's South Africa, or DRC, South Africa, Angola. Could be third largest SADC country. And if you look at that, you got their political system. You know, MPLA is one of the ruling part since they gained independence from 1975. They gained independence from 1975. MPLA has been the ruling part. Based on my elections, can one riga and what I say since 1975. No one wachingo wina chit. No one strongest. No, it's one of the strongest parties. No strongest party in Angola, MPLA. And the Murgon. Currency yao wanoshandisa inonzi kwanza. Ndo currency yao, vane local currency yao inonzi kwanza. Saka, zvatiri kutaura izvi varume ndezvekuti at the end of everything mari dzedu dziri kunze kwenyika uko, whether dziri muBritain, dziri munana Canada, dziri kuAmerica, dziri kuSwitzerland, mari dziri kubiwa muZimbabwe vanambavha sada vachinobhenga ikoko vachinjoya munana Dubai. Eventually those monies will be repatriated back to Zimbabwe. To Nigeria, they repatriated back about 4.2 billion. 4.5 billion, but I know so money is recovered from criminals. Wagada sana Ubit Angel is now a criminal. Wagada sana Emerson Mnangagwa, those are criminals. Wagada sana Sakunda, those are criminals. So the money that will be recovered from them, it will be returned to our country. And I go with Zayo, but Panama agreements are not equal between Zimbabwe and those countries, so that the monies can be used to develop our country, and we need to benefit from our money. And you are supposed to be given enough. Ndara yane mari 43 years achiba mari chienda kuma Swiss bank. Ane mari mdara uyo. Azvine zvinawo Isabel acharira manje Dos Santos. And charira manje Dos Santos. Isabel Dos Santos now chasara che mari dzese dzakafrizwa. Changosara is to repatriate all the monies back to develop Angola. Andimona. Nosanga tikutaura kuti musangoti 𝗵𝗵𝗴. Vamwana hey 𝗵𝗂𝗵𝗁. Hey what? He was nicknamed 𝗃𝗂𝗵𝗁. Pakamboita Minister of Defense, akaitwa Minister of Intelligence. And akaponda Mandere. Aponda Mandere sere. Ari Minister of Intelligence. Akaponda Mandere. Andimona. Saka Zimbabwe, let's hope could when Mnangagwa is gone, because pakaitwa coup 2017 every Zimbabwean hoped apana sina kufara pane vamwe vaive nesite vaiona kumberi kuti munhu auya uyu haite, but a lot of Zimbabweans they had hopes that Mnangagwa would rescue Zimbabwe from the sorry political state and economic situation that it was pushed into by Robert Mugabe. And the people thought probably Mnangagwa would save Zimbabwe. Unfortunately, people's expectations were not correct. Kana kuviga baba wake wafa kungosika chedu chizarira hapindi 𝗃𝗵𝗴𝗶 hapindi muAngola hapindi it's a sorry state. Murume wake nazoti murume wake hanzi murume wacho akafa, hanzi murume wake akafa, murume waIsabel hanzi Sindika Dokolo, hanzi he died in October. Amene hanzi aita zvekudhaiva, amene zvaita mari inouraya mari, anga kuita mari dzekungoenda vachitodhaiva, amene kwavaidhaiva muLondon ndo maakafira murume waIsabel. Nditsvagire nhamba dzake ndimbotaura naye mbichana naIsabel. Yashirikadzi kai ndingomuti ndakaona video yakakolajwa yeOlinda naPhilip Chiyango mazimba iyoyo ndimbota naIsabel kuti baby pakaipa mukoma chichi. Ashirikadzi one haasina baba wakafa tu, haasina murume akafa, hanzi akafa amene akanopwanyika musoro achiita zvedhiving here, akafa murume wacho akaurawa nemari. Isabel ari kuRussia uko. Ndofunga because hanzi anofrequenta Dubai neLondon, ane mansion muLondon, ane mansion paprivate island muDubai, saka hanzi anenge achingodai ane boat rimwe riri kumupa mari I think. Saka vari kususpecta kuti anogona kuva nemamwe accounts ari kushanda izvozvizvi emari dzari kungolowa. Saka naari muRussia nehondo riri muRussia vanomuita flash out very soon. Andiri maona. Saka ngatibhotsvagai nhamba dzake timbomuti baby. Andiri maona. Saka nyaya yatiri kutaura panapa, ladies and gentlemen, tingangoita hedu fun naIsabel, but inyaya yekuti we are going into a 2023 election. This election will usher a new government. It will usher a new president. And it's likely, not likely, it's certain that President Nelson Chamisa is going to win the 2023 elections. If he wins, I've looked at different situations, ladies and gentlemen. If you look at Kugin, nyaya mbotaura na someone discuss zvedu. Kugin kwaive nemwe mudhara ainzi Alpha Conde, akabviswa Alpha Conde naMamade Dombouya ndiye anga ari general. He took over control of Guinea after aona kuti mudhara uyu ari kungoita corruption, mari dziri kungobuda and so forth. Akatonga Guinea from 2020 to 2021. 2021 ndobva kumaitwa coup. ECOWAS ikambopenga ikada kunomubvisa Mamade akati don't interfere in our situations. Isabel dos Santos is believed to be hiding in Dubai from prosecutors who want for alleged massive theft of public money, the apparently ill-gotten gains of the daughter of Angola. Vanomvarira maimanje. Saka uyu mudhara akabuda kuAngola anonzi João Lourenço haasi kuseka. He's trying to make sure that Isabel adzosera mari dzese dzaakaba. A similar situation happened in DRC, where Mobutu Sese Seko fled from Laurent Kabila. Laurent Kabila was assassinated, and his son Joseph Kabila came into power. When his son Joseph Kabila came into power, he was defeated in an election that ushered a new president in DRC. Haasi kuseka, mfesa aripo yaaseke. Ndakamona achinongedzera France president akati iwe zvibate iwe. Mfesa aripo wants to deal with corruption once for all in DRC. We have noted changes in Zambia as well. When Edgar Lungu was defeated by Hakainde Hichilema, Hakainde Hichilema has transformed Zambia into probably the best country in SADC. João Lourenço ndo pronounce Jabiro. Anonzi João, anonzi Jao. Thanks mkoma chicha. Mimi makaboshana ni maPortuguese mnomanzwisisa ka. Anonzi João Lourenço. Ndo panonzi João hapo. João Lorenzo. Yeah, thank you 𝗃𝗂𝗵𝗁. Anonzi João Lorenzo. Hana fani Blasio is stamping out corruption for good in Angola. We have seen changes in Zambia. Zambia becoming probably one of the best SADC countries, fast developing now. In 𝗃𝘂𝗵𝗁𝗶 pakabviswa an alcoholic. But Zambia, if you look at Mnangagwa is an alcoholic, if you look at Edgar Lungu is an alcoholic, those people will never run a country successfully. Most of their time vanenge vakadhakwa. Kana Mnangagwa ari papodium paipai zvaanenge achitaura zvezvi hazvitaurwe nemunhu wapresident, haisi presidential speeches dzaanopa dzadzi imbanje kana kuti anenge akahuswa hake nedoro. So we need change in Zimbabwe, and our change is coming, ladies and gentlemen. Look at Malawi. I've spoken a lot about Malawi. I've spoken about the General Vincent Commander, where Malawi Defense Forces being professional. I've spoken a lot, guys, about Malawi. I've spoken a lot about Angola. I've spoken now about Guinea. These are changes that I want you to note. That 2023, you are given an opportunity. In Nigeria, I've spoken about the death of Sani Abacha. I've spoken about the recovery of Sani Abacha's monies back into Nigeria to develop Nigeria. And it's the kuZimbabwe ndo mataka kuzoka muZimbabwe. Ndambenge ndichiseka ndambopinda mune rimwe group so ratachitaura nezveZimbabwe, tikataura nezvakanani banana. Vanhu vari mugroup iroro vanofunga kuti vanhu vari kunana UK chete ndo asylum seekers 1. Vanofunga kuti asylum seekers ari muno muUK vanhu veopposition chete. Saka ndazowana opportunity yekuvadzidzisa ndikavaratidza mapictures avana Niki Mangwana vari vadiki vachipinda munyika dzinodzi vari maasylum seekers. Vana 𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵 vari maasylum seekers. Is a refugee. 𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵 akauya akaclaim asylum munyika muno. Anditi maona. Saka ndachivaudza ngati 𝗹𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗶 at large was an asylum seeker in this country. Tachitaura nyaya dzaSodindo Banana idzi imi munoitwa vakadzi nemabhunu kumashure. Ndikati gayism yakatanga muZimbabwe, yakatanga muState House, yakaintroducedwa nana Sodindo Banana. Vese vana George Charamba vaive vese vangori vakadzi vaKenani Banana vai. Mugaba akatombotaura akati neniwo ndaro yaida kumbondifemera mugutsi. Anditi maona. Saka vanga vakuramba Kenani Banana haasi wezanu, hanzi haasi wezanu, anga asiri wezanu. Ndikati amuna Zimbabwe yamuziva. Kenani Banana joined ZANU-PF in 1976. Iye nana Herbert Ushekunze vachibva kuANC yaitungamirirwa naBishop Abel Tendeka Mzorero. Saka ndachivataurira nhoroondo yeZimbabwe. Ndaona kuti kune vanhu vazhinji vanoti idipfe vasingazive history yeZimbabwe. Anga achiramba hanzi Kenani Banana anga haana mbva vamboita wezanu. Ndikati mbonyararai sekuru, hamuna zvamunoziva. Andimona. Ndikavaudza ndikati Emerson Mnangagwa id chaiye ndikauzara hana hondo yakarwa mudaro aimovati akaenda kuhondo. Ndikati aiwa id akanotrainwa zvekusaboteja zvezvi ndobva adzoka kuZimbabwe, ndobva watiraya kubhomba chitima vachibva wabatwa. Hapana muRhodesiya chitima chakabhombwa paipa, vakabva wabatwa vasati vaaccomplisha mission yavo. id Mnangagwa akatongwa 10 years. Atongwa 10 years ndobva aiswa kujeri. Aiswa kujeri pane he compromised his position. Akadhila nemaRhodesians. Vana baba vana Rudland, Simon Rudland. Baba wake vanga vari minister mu Ian Smith regime. This is why you see Mnangagwa haakwanisi kurasa Rudland, haakwanisi kurasa vana Macmillan, because akabva aita Ian Smith agent, and pakaitwa an agreement yakamureleasa asati aseva even 5 years. Haanambopedza kana 5 years ari mujeri. He was released akanzi kudepota kuenda kuZambia. That was a deal because akanga ave agent yeRhodesia. Ukada kuona kunzi hanzi akazojuta rejoin war, akazoruita rejoin when 1977, end of 1977, takangoti early 1978. That 78 ndopakabva padaidzirwa ceasefire. Hakuna hondo yakaenda. Ukanzwa Mnangagwa ari papodium achitaura, he doesn't talk about his history in war. no. Even nyango tiri kunana prison ukari minister of justice aiti akauya paHarare Central Prison aingotaura kuti ndakagara kucondemn section ubva aenda kusero achiti ndakagara kusero condemn section chete. Hatina kubva tambonzwa achitaura history yake yemuhondo. Nanhasi kana munanga kwakamira pamberi pevanhu akanzitaura nhoroondo yehondo, haana nhoroondo yehondo yaanoziva. Saka ndachitaura nevanhu vari mugrupu ndikati no uyu mudhara uyu zvakafanana nekuti mutsvangwa uya Chris mutsvangwa momuti ataure history yehondo kana tichenjerai hunzvi momumisa kuti ataure history yehondo. Haana hondo yaanotaura yaanoziva, haana hondo yakarwa yaakaona. Munangagwa haana hondo yakarwa yaakaona, haana history nhoroondo yechimurenga yaanoziva. He rejoined the struggle probably in 1977. Hapana mboita gore there was ceasefire. Vanhu vakutotaura zvekuenda kuma-elections. Patoine ceasefire vanhu vakutoenda kuma-assembly points. Hondo yatomira. Haana nhoroondo yehondo yaanotaura. Andiona. Saka zvese zvindiri kutaurira kuti vanhu muzive taakuenda 2023 election. 2023 election hatichada kuramba tichitaura nezvehondo yakapera 43 years ago. Tawana independence. Let's talk about development. Let's look at ZANU-PF kana ichitaura nesu vachiti 𝗵𝗵𝗴𝗶. Vanofanira kuti 𝗵𝗵𝗴 vouya votiratidza development yakaitwa for 23 years. Ukataura nevanhu vezanu now vari kupoinda 200 kilometers dzakaitwa resurfaced from Beitbridge. For 43 years, this is what ZANU-PF only achieved. Ukada kuramba uchitaura navo vari kupoinda ku-renovation yakaitwa yekuHarare International Airport. That is not an achievement. That is a renovation. They did not build Harare International Airport. It was just a renovation that was done on that airport. You cannot say that is development. Hanzi mapeturu tanks akapiswa rini kuLwezi Shapiro. Matanks akapiswa 1979 muna December. Pakapiswa matank. I still remember pakapiswa matank. Is it 78, 79 December? Nandri muHarare nini. Nandri muHarare. Pakapiswa matank. I was in Harare, but the talks were at an advanced stage in Lancaster for elections to be held. And on. They were nditarise date chairo kuti akapiswa rini. Munangagwa hasi ndiye akapisa matank. Hatombozvizive zvezvo zvakaitwa nana parents shiri zvazvo. Southampton, they were banned, I think Southampton 78 December or 79 December, let me check. Nandri muHarare nini. Nandri muSalisbury, sorry. Nandri muSalisbury. Pakapiswa matenga ayayo. Ndaigara kuHeadfields. Pakapiswa matenga. Ndaigara kuHeadfields. Let me get the actual date. Southampton. Let's get the actual date. We don't want to mislead people. We want to give people correct information. Kuti vanhu vana vari kukura vasingaziva vazive. Because vazhinji vacho vane nungo dzekuverenga. Southampton. Come on, man. Chikuburisa UK. Southampton tanks bombing. Let's get actual date. We want to get the actual dates, so we help ones who see a bombing mission 400 meters. Let's get the actual dates, but I still remember that could have been in idzi nyaya dzimwe dzakungotaurwa nana gudo idzi Let me get you the actual date. Kuti vanhu vanyatsoziva. ZANU-LA forces. ZANU-LA force. ZANU-LA force babata tambura. 9 p.m. A day most people might not immediately recall, but one that is certainly bent into the memories of those who lived in Mpare at the time. At 9 p.m. That day, ZANU-LA forces bombed Shell fuel tanks in Southampton, Salisbury. April 18, no, what was, I want to get, yeah, December 1978, exactly. But I still remember I was in Harare. The tanks were bombed in December 1998. I still remember that day. The day Rachel Nairiziva. And 1978, Ndopaka bombwa matank. Mnangagwa had just joined the struggle. Anga asatato ine gora to struggle. Because he joined, I think, December 1977. Then 1978, kuchibva kwapiswa matank kuSouthampton. There was ceasefire from there. Vanhu vakuenda kuma assembly points. I still remember baba vangu inini vaishanda paKaroi Motors Transport. Marori eKaroi Motors Transport ndo aienda musango achinotora vanhu magandanga vachiuya nawo maassembly points. Kunana Urungwe area yese kunana Urungwe vaienda mumaruzevha vachinotakura makomrades vachiuya nawo vachiunganidzwa painzi pajoko. Taitoenda pajoko paipa tichipuwa mabifi tichitaura nemagandanga kwedu kwanga operatirwa nemazipro. Taitotaura kwawaiti ukasangana nemuzipro kuti comrade dhodha mari mazipro anga asingaverenge kuti ane mari muhomwe aingopinza ruoko pahipi yemasendi kudai famba ukazadza homwe nemasendi kudai wapuwa mari nemagandanga makomrades. Saka matanks kuSouthampton they were banned 1978 muna December. That time ndandirichiri kuHarare ndozora takatiza bozi sekuru vangu vakataurira moms kuti hondo yapinda yamo muno muHarare. Saka takatiza isusu netsoka tikazokwira malifts kure kunana lo magundi amai vakafamba netsoka. Tainzwa mazi motikari kunodzima moto achibva paairport. Amene zaibva kupi motikari dzadza dzaingori dzibva nepaairport paipo moto waiti ukasimuka so kwese kunana Hatfields kwechena kuti kuchena kutange maskati because akapiswa usiku matenga aya akapiswa usiku kwaichena kunge kuchena uzi moto vanhu vese kuwanda Harare yakanyarara kuti sei moto. That was 1978 muna December. Andona saka pakaipa vana Idi ukanzwa Idi achimira achitaura nhoroondo yehondo. He has never spoken about his participation in that war. Never. Never. He doesn't talk about his participation in the struggle. Vashoma vanhu vokuti ukasangana nawo ndazomuisira picture yamudhara dzimwe sekuru dzangu so ukanzwa achitaura mudhara yega ndichaiposta futi video ituma videos akataura nyaya dzehondo ichimurenga. So let me just call it quits, ladies and gentlemen. Tusangana mangwana. I think if you tag my generals panyaya yandataura, one, let me summarize what I've discussed today. I discussed about it's just a warning that I was giving to the likes of Emmerson Mnangagwa Nema army generals on Valerius one. I gave them a very good example of Malawi general akataurira Malawians kuti mune right to demonstrate. Avaudza kudaro akatuma masoja akaenda kunoprotecta vanhu vaidemonstrata. Anditi maona vanhu vaidemonstrata akati mapurisa akada unorova vanhu akataurira masoja kuti disarm those policemen. Hazvina kufadza Peter Wamtarika. General Vincent was sacked from the army. Akaappointa vanhu vake vaita zvaanoda. But Constitutional Court nullified the results a rerun was made that ushered a new president in that country, 𝗵𝗂𝗴𝗶, who revisited the sacking of the general and then reinstated him, sat down with the soldiers and government and appointed the deputy. Today, mndaraunda kutaura ndiye army general mndaraunda kutaura today. Ndati ndikasangana general Ngudzu ndinowasaluta because he's a professional soldier, first of his kind in SADC. I've spoken about that. Reference kunana Valerio Swanda that if you want the respect of the people of Zimbabwe, be a general. Be a general. And be a general. Mirira vanhu. And be a general. Peter Wamtarika ndachitaura about what this news did. Ndachitaura what he did. After the death of Bingu Wamtarika, taimuti Bingu Wamgabe, pandakaenda kuMalawi 2005, Bingu Wamtarika ainzi Bingu Wamgabe. Thank you 𝗃𝘂𝗵𝗁 ainzi Bingu Wamgabe. Bingu Wamtarika because aingoita zvaidiwa nani exactly zvaingoita Bhobho zvezve ndo zvaingoita. Saka pakaipa guys, pakaipa. Ndataura nyaya general vakazoitwa reinstated naLazarus vaitwa reinstated ndokubva ndataura nyaya yerecovery yemari dzedu dziri kubiwa nevanhu vaEmmerson Mnangagwa's family, associates, nemagenerals ake vese ivavo tataura nezvavo tikataura kuti vanhu ava kunyangwe no matter where they will bank the money, worse if they bank it in China, we are going to recover our money. If they bank it in a Swiss bank, we are going to recover our money. Any other bank in Europe, we will return our monies that has been stolen from Zimbabwe. Ndikutaura kuti musanyanyotya vakatenga maproperties nemari dzekuba idzodzo, those properties will be frozen, sold, and we get our monies back as a country. These billions dzamakanzwa dzakataurwa paAljazeera document, those billions will be returned for the benefit of the country of Zimbabwe. Ndataura inini ndichitaura kuti vana 𝗵𝗵𝗴𝗶 vainga maBritish citizens panoitwa money laundering is an international crime. Aljazeera document, Zimbabweans might dismiss it kuti alright zvakatopera. No, hazvina kupera. Kunana UK investigations begins, started soon after the end of that Aljazeera. Mkomo wangu zviri kufamba chair. Saka ndo nyaya iripo, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry. Izvinhu izvi guys zvinozviita zvega. Vanasana Bacha pa 5 years vangarowa ma 4 something billion dzakatorwa dzese bari dzakadzoka idzi. Ndati nini, I want you to mark my words. Idi Mnangagwa will be killed, but haurawe opposition. He's going to be killed nevanhu vake vari muzano, and the way he's going to die, they are going to poison him. Achangoni kwakafa mudhara obva atonzi mudhara yakaita heart attack, haisi heart attack, anenge afa nepoisoning. From there the Sakunda will crumble. From there his empire will crumble. The monies that they've taken out of the country, kuchaitika inonzi treasury hunt, mari dzese dzichadzoka. Sekuru Choko muri sei mudhara wangu makadi, mari dzese dzichadzoka dzedzi. And the infrastructure yenyika has been stalled, it's not developing because mari dzakabiwa. Saka ladies and gentlemen, regai nditi ne summary yandakupai yezvatadiscussa nhasi. Imimi stay tuned, stay blessed. And vazhinji vacho hamusi kuYouTube guys, mboendai mono subscribe kuYouTube kwakanzi The Rebel. Go there, subscribe, kuitira you can revisit most of my stuff there, revisit them. Muteerere, because my lectures are guys, they will be there for years to come, or a million years to come. Vana, for new generation, my generations and generations to come, vachazoda kuunderstand what was exactly happening in Zimbabwe. As I clearly state the history, I put it very clear kuti vanhu vanyatsonzwa mufollow, zviri easy to follow, easy to understand kuti chii chiri kuitika muZimbabwe, zvii zvinofanira kuitwa, zvii zvinozoitika pane ramangwana. I have clearly stated this. Keep this video and subscribe to YouTube, the Rebel. Not good night. Dirihora vakomana, dirihora rembanje, vanogara mudiriwo vakomana, vanogara mudiriwo, dirihora rembanje, vanogara mudiriwo, musatambe navo, vanogara mudiriwo, dirihora rembanje, vanogara mudiriwo, dirihora vakomana. Dirihora rembanje, vanogara mudiriwo, dirihora iro, vanogara mudiriwo, dirihora rembanje, gara mudiriwo vakomana, vanogara mudiriwo, dirihora rembanje, vanogara mudiriwo, dirihora vakomana. Good night. Morara zvakanaka. I love you all. I love my country Zimbabwe. I love Zimbabweans. I love you all. Muri vanhu vakarongeka maZimbabweans. Saka kurongeka kwenyu, I hope we will see kurongeka kwenyu this year. Gore rino motokotorongeka, rongekai. Ndatumirwa message na lecturer wangu kanaka. Hands working with ndotoda ndasendwa message na lecturer wangu. Pamwada kuti nditore Shapiro. Good night guys, good night. Good night. Ngangozofarisa pana good night.